Shalom, shalom. We're gonna do a sound check and a mic check, and we're gonna get started.
I'm waiting for it to go live.
Kan kan.
Countdown. 3, 2. All right.
Sound and voice and everything.
We in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, shalom, shalom. Yeah, we are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers that's doing this work in truth and sincerity,
That's right.
risking their lives and their freedom to do so.
That's right.
Now more so than ever.
Woo!
You know, and to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, we give a sincere shalom and an FU to Esau.
That's right.
Esau does not want to be responsible for what he has done. So what brought this was I got this article from about DeSantis signing the bill banning woke school lessons, workplace training into law. And I'm going to read some of this article, and it says, "We are here today because we believe in education, not indoctrination," DeSantis said at the press conference Friday at Hialeah Gardens, which is a lie. The American education is not an education; it's an indoctrination because they're teaching you false history. And the problem with this woke thing, as they call it, is that when real history comes out, it doesn't favor them. The history that they were very, very proud about and bragged about once upon a time, it's now coming back to shame them. Somebody get that. It should be shameful spewing. And give me 2 Thessalonians 2:8. Do the Bible shot real quick before I continue in this article.
I had something real quick for you. Unless somebody got it first. If you got the Thessalonians or whoever will get it
I got
first.
Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
And that's what the problem is. The shameful spewing upon the things that they did.
That's
You
it.
know, we knew that they were hanging and murdering us, but we had no idea that they were actually cannibal. They were eating us.
Mhm.
You know, they were eating Judah, man.
And pickling us.
All right, and they were and making shoes and belts and tobacco bags out of our women's breasts and just all these sort of insane things that they were doing, all in the name of Christianity and Jesus. They did this thing, and keep telling you these white Christian extremists are the most dangerous people the world has ever seen, and now they do not want their history to be revealed because they want to be looked at as white. But what did Jacqueline Bellora say? There was no such thing as white people, and anyone claiming to be to be a part of that by evolution or by biologically in any way is a fabricated lie. Those were her words, not mine.
That's right. These are Negro skin shoes right here. They made purses, cigar cases, back covers, and more from the skin of our ancestors. That's what the quote says under these shoes.
And they
here.
did the same thing to Gad.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to they don't want this talked about or shown. Calling it CRT, critical race theory. No,
History.
it's
right.
critical race history.
That's right.
Right? So by not teaching it, you're not giving an education, Mr. DeSantis, Mr. Obama. You're giving an indoctrination. That's what you're doing. All right? You're guilty of the very thing that you're supposedly complaining about, man. All right? Because these wicked deeds came with democracy. Did we read that 2 Thessalonians?
I got it.
Bring it out, brother.
This 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. It said, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
In the mouth of the prophets, man, because all these other build-ups about the genders and all this other stuff all that was a distraction. But we're the real focus of these bills and this silencing of the voices of the people.
That's right.
We're the real targets of it, but they don't want to admit that or talk about it openly.
Right.
All right.
See, when Clinton came out with the female one, said with that we had an information war, and we're losing. She said that, and that was a very heavy statement because Esau is losing the information war due to the fact of the men of the Lord. This is 1 Timothy 6 and 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust. Avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. Everything that we're dealing out here is their
pseudoscience.
That's right.
And pseudo history.
There you go.
All right, pseudoscience and pseudo history, falsified.
That's what you play.
You got one too, Elder?
This is Second Ezra 16. I'm starting 62. Yea, the Spirit of Almighty Yahweh, which made all things and searching out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. Surely he knoweth your inventions and what ye think in your hearts, even them that sin and would hide their sin. Therefore the Lord exactly searched out all your works, and he will put all to shame. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
There it is, man. And that's exactly what's happening. Their own sins are their accusers. I mean, it's all, and they're still coming out all over YouTube as well. But you know, you can only say and do so much.
Right.
TikTok and other platforms are lighting their ass up.
Oh yeah.
And they're ashamed and they're hurt and they're suicidal and they're complaining. And they don't want to hear it anymore.
Right. They come when you hear them on the mainstream news saying this woke thing, and they're complaining about this woke. First of all,
and this is your history.
Yeah, right.
This was your forefather, and you know, and it's like earlier today, it was said that it wasn't that long ago, man. You know, you got women, you got people, men and women, that are in their 70s and 80s. They were the little children in a lot of these images that we see about people being burned and hung and killed. And you could actually use facial recognition to show them. And when you know what you'll find that a lot of these people are related to a lot of people that are in office.
That's right. Or that
are in Hollywood. All right. I actually did a lesson with this book, Without Sanctuary, some years ago. And I mentioned that about maybe 3-4 years going back. And I said that, and they put in, that was the first time I've ever seen an age restriction put on the video. They didn't delete the video. They sent me the message, this video has been age restricted. All right, because there you go. You can see, there you go. Though that's probably some Karen right there that you're looking at in that image. Click that out the way.
I'm trying, but it's Satan just playing games.
They get mad. Yeah.
Quick.
I got the.
There you go.
Right there.
You can clearly see them with their daughters and their children and their wives smiling at the torment, burned, charred, dismembered body of some poor, unfortunate Jake who happened to be who got beaten and tortured and killed and then often eaten.
That's right.
By them.
This is very frustrating because I've seen a lot of people see, especially through the cameras, horrific situations in people, whatever. 99% of the time, what majority from Jake to heathens that are not Edomites, when they see something that's horrific, they'll see it and they're like, ugh. These motherfuckers
hey, somebody.
Oh no. Hey, you're right. They get off on this shit, man.
Hey, you're right.
Look at that, they smile, they laugh like this is a fucking great time, man.
You're right.
Yeah, some man just screamed in agony, got hung, beaten, and burned. And they're happy about it.
Hey, they got the camera.
And they were Christians. A lot of the time, this was done right after church. So the problem is the extreme Christianism, this extreme Christians in America that were protected by democracy.
That's it.
All right? Because none of these people went to jail. You have their faces. You can trace these people down today with modern technology. And yet none of them have been accosted by the law.
They chase down little old ass Nazis.
Exactly.
War
And
criminals.
we're supposed to forget about
To
this,
this
but I
day.
bet you they're not trying to take
Oh, hell no.
Nazi history out of the textbooks in the schools.
Oh no.
And not at all.
They made postcards out of this shit.
Yeah, they did. Sent them back and forth. As a matter of fact, that book without sanctuary, most of those images are postcard images
Mhm.
with the signatures and the addresses and the names of who it went to.
So
Here-
here it is.
here's-
You got-
here's one
you got
right
the
there.
Address, the names, the everything.
It's right here. What's one on the screen?
Yeah, and I actually used that one in the video because the guy says that's me on the right with my arms crossed.
And then my father, my father's from Alabama, and he used to tell me about the stories of how Esau used to get down when he was a kid. My father, like 64 years old, he said that he was still dealing with that. That's why my grandfather, my grandmother, a lot of Jake left from Alabama.
That's how my mother
They
ended up being
dealing
born
with
in
this
Chicago.
shit.
Because my grandfather and his brother, they faded some Edomites that was throwing rocks at them and stepped on their side of the tracks. And they put the flops on them, and then they stuck them both on trains and sent them to Chicago.
Can I bring out a scripture?
All right, to get it because the lynch mobs were coming after them.
In the definition.
Go ahead, brother. And I know you got some, and the elder still got some too.
So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 12. Now, before I read it, we understand that Job 9:24 says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, right? So they're ruling because it says that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. All right, the basis of men, like in every way, especially morally. All right, this basis of men, which is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, who is in power right now and ruling wickedly. Now, this is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. So it says, therefore, this is the mindset of the wicked, right? It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. So whoever the righteous is, which off the back is the Israelites, but it's the elect of the Israelites first and foremost, because the Bible lets you know that the elect of the nation of Israel is going to return to Yahweh Shem Yahushua and Yahweh Shem Yahushua's righteousness, right? So when we return from this present evil world and all the lies that we've been told, and we turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, then those that's in power, the wicked, we're not under their vibration anymore. So they like, oh, okay, well, let us lie in wait for the righteous because he is not for our turn, right? So it says, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided, so he, the righteous, upbraided us, the wicked, with our offending the law. All right, they offend the law of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, and objected. So we, the righteous, also objected. It says to their infamy, the transgressings of their education. Now look up because it says we objected. This is like somebody getting married, getting married, and they'll be like, hey, any objections? Why this shouldn't happen? You have any objections? So we object of their infamy, of the transgression of their education, right?
Oh, say that again.
We objected to their infamy, all right, the transgression of their education. Now, I just looked up this word infamy, which means extremely bad reputation, public reproach, or strong condemnation as the result of a shameful, criminal, or outrageous act. All these things that the elders are just showing up here of what they've done, these are all that they have an extremely bad reputation now for all of these things that they have done, for the result of their shameful, criminal, and outrageous acts that they have committed, all the atrocities that this devil has committed. All right, and then it says the result of shameful, all right, criminal or outrageous acts. Remind me of that scripture of the shameful spewing.
That's it.
All right, shall be something on their glory.
Shameful
Right.
spewing on their
Yeah, we
glory.
just read that one. That would be shameful spewing on their glory.
Exactly. Because of why? Their shameful acts. Because of their lies, their deceit, the transgressing of their education
That's it.
that they call education, but just like the elder is saying, no, that's misinformation, disinformation.
Exactly. Complete disinformation.
And it's molding you to be like them. That's why it says, hey, when the
And accept everything that they've done.
exactly
And accept unrighteousness. Accept the fact that they don't have to give any recompense for anything that they could just say, I'm sorry.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
After you've gotten the advantage and gotten all the land, the power, the
all
wealth,
the riches, and
all the
everything.
riches, and now you could just say, I'm sorry.
And don't make
Right
it fair.
now,
You know,
Don't
and don't exactly.
don't restore
And it's
any-
okay. Hold on.
They don't want to acknowledge. Hey, me and Yashrala was playing with Edomite last night on the Call of Duty, and it started. I don't know how I switched to this topic, but I mentioned what he talked about the Mexicans coming taking out jobs. I'm like, this they land.
Right.
He knows this ain't they land. America's the greatest country on the planet. They sneaking up here. It's like they completely ignore the fact they stole this shit.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to accept that.
They don't
like,
see your side.
well, we conquered it, so now it's ours. No, motherfucker, like you stole this shit.
I saw a video I actually did a lesson to where you have this little spoiled ass cracker on the boat. I might have sent it to you, Ashrala. I might have sent it to you too. This little spoiled ass Edomite was on a boat in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
The glass bottom boats, and they take you out over the over the coral reefs, so you can see the great whites and the bull sharks and the nurse sharks and all the beauty and the glory of the Yahweh Shem Shai. And this dude is mad because he wants to hunt, kill, and fish the protected species of fish. And he's back talking to us. He's talking shit to the captain of the ship, talking shit to his parents, to the other adults. They're telling him to sit down. I don't want to sit down. I don't want to look at them. I want to hunt them. I want to catch them. You know, and he's like, and then the dude's telling him, man, you in Jamaica, you can't do what you want, man. He's a protected. We spent money to get on this boat. And I'm like, this little fucker, you didn't spend, your mama paid for you to be on this boat. You little spoiled bitch. They have no concept or no respect for other people's humanity or life of any other form.
And
It's all about pleasing them and pleasing their own flesh.
And they don't like facts when they get caught up in shit. Another thing that came up, he wanted to make it. We told him Edom, now we didn't say Edom, of course, that they not the majority. So then he's going back and forth. No, we are this and that. And then I say, well, they classify Arabs as white people.
Somalians,
Cause right, check it out. Because look,
Ethiopians, and they're clearly not white people.
no, that came up because he said Google it. Black people are only 7%. It's like we don't take census, black people don't do that. Then I Googled Arabs count as white, and the first article popped up. I think they call it the NEMA countries, which is North Africa and them Arabs. They all count as white.
And the reason they try to do that because they're trying no, it's not only that, they're really trying to protect that lie about the Lord being white and the Israelites being white.
Yeah.
That's where that whole North Africa Mid-East bullshit comes from, because they know that the Israelites were intermingling with all them Africans and mixing in with them, going down into Africa. So what they've done, they've taken the people of North Africa and I classified them as white. That's the real truth behind that. Ham was the father of the dark races, but not the Negroes, because that definition actually backfired on them, because that definition was really trying to support a white superiority, that by saying that these people are dark but they're really white. That's what they were really trying to say with that. A lot of people, but it backfired on them. All right, because that's the truth behind that definition.
That shit said
It's called a white something doctrine. I forget what it's called, but that's really what that definition was about. They're trying to say that the Negroes was a different dark race down in Africa somewhere, but these people, though they were dark, he was not the father of the Negroes, and it turned around and it backfired on them.
Yeah,
All right.
Esau don't like them facts.
He don't like the facts,
They
man.
want
And
to-
then when you do give him facts, he has perfect cognitive dissonance.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Especially with Jake calling out his bullshit. He really hates that,
He
bro.
lost his mind last night.
Yeah, there's some sort of theory they call something white theory. I forget. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm gonna have to go find it and look it up, do another lesson on that subject matter. But that was the real reason behind that definition. They were trying to make a separation between the Negro and the African because they were also trying to say that certain sex of Ham was white, even though they were dark complected. So I'm like, but you also said in white superiority, if you have one drop of black blood, you got white.
Right.
It's all a bullshit, man. But bring out what you had, Elder. Even
Okay, because what's going on right now with you Edomites is you're on trial, man. All right, and all your wickedness is being brought out before you get sentenced.
And just to back you up, Elder, the Lord said, I stand up to plead and to plead with the people. People think plead is ain't too proud to beg. But you go into the Hebrew of the plead, it's actually a judgment. It's being they're in trial. This is judgment. And we're in judgment time. You got it, Elder.
That's it. It's Isaiah 47:1. It said, "Come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." This Babylon here is not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about America. You know. So it says, there is no throne, O daughter of Chaldeans. And this modern day Chaldeans is you Edomites, man. You elites, man. This is Egypt all over again spiritually, man. So it says, thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thighs, pass over the ribs. So you're being exposed, man. All your wickedness you've been doing is being exposed right now, you know. All right. But like I said, you're on trial right now before the Lord give you your judgment, man. You're gonna have 1,000 years of slavery, and after you serve your 1,000-year punishment, the Lord's gonna just erase you, damn devil, period, man. So it says, verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yet thy shame shall be seen. Your shame, you know, all the wickedness you've been doing.
That's right.
You know,
And everything they're doing is disinformation
yeah.
to lessen the shame.
That's
And
it.
it's not working.
Go
ahead.
ahead. At the time you're in.
yeah, because I would say about 95% of the books that we use to bring out your history that you don't like were written by your own
Yes,
people,
right.
your forefathers. All right. So this is your history that they wrote down, and now all of a sudden you want to ignore what your forefathers said before you.
That's it. And the beautiful thing about it is, who gives a fuck you got a problem or not? The Lord's getting ready to pay you damn devils back for all your crimes, man, your wickedness, bro. This is verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord's gonna come in angelic force, man. You know, he's gonna come back and completely annihilate you
Right.
damn devils, man.
Like Thanos in Apocalypse, all
Yeah.
wrapped up in one. All right, you ain't gonna be able to stop him, man.
I got
I got one
But
back
he been holding something for a while. What you got?
This Sirach 41, I'll start read 6 and 7. It says, the inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. All right, it says, the children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his name's sake. And you have most of these houses in Babylon right now are divided. Like you have these white girls that so-called take our cause or stand with BLM and all do that shit because they're ashamed because they're being reminded of the atrocities that their forefathers did, all right, and are still basically it's still in existence. All this modern history, because I was basically pointing at the one sign that they have is America's basically their worldwide tour of democracy, and it talks about all their bombings since after World War II. So it says Korea and China, 1950 to 1953, Guatemala, 1954, Indonesia, 1958, Cuba, 1959 through 1961, Guatemala again, 1960, Congo, Laos, Vietnam, 61 through 73, so that was 12 years. All right, Cambodia, it says 1969 to 1970, Guatemala again, 1967.
What the fuck is Guatemala doing to you? What the fuck Guatemala do to you,
What
America?
did any of those people do to them except they had merch? Exactly. Keep reading that list. I want to hear it.
All right, it says Guatemala 1967 to 69, Grenada 1983, the Lebanese in 1983 and 84, also the Syrians in some of those parts, Libya 1986, El Salvador 1980, Nicaragua 1980, Iran 1987.
These are all people of color, mind you. Continue.
This is modern history. This is modern
Yeah,
history.
we ain't going far back.
Panama 1989, Iraq 1991, Kuwait 91, Somalia 93, Bosnia 94 and 95, Sudan 1998, Afghanistan 98, Yugoslavia 99, Yemen 2002, Iraq 91 to 2003, Iraq again 2003 to 2015, Afghanistan 2001 to 2015, Pakistan 2007 to 2015, Somalia 2007, 2008, and again in 2011. Yemen 2009 to 2011, Libya 2021, Libya 2011 to 2015, Syria again for 2014 and 2015. So this is modern history that
That's not
But
mentioned.
watch what's going on now, man. But see, this is what you call
Democracy.
white Christian
democracy.
extremism, exceptionalism.
Mm.
Because what they want to do, what they want to do is they want to now all of a sudden Russia's the big bad boogeyman, but Russia did none of this.
Right.
All right, so literally that tolls in who that's probably a couple of 100 million people right there that died and perished.
That's right.
All right, because you had I know in the Iraq War you had 1 million people died alone in that.
Then you have his
All right,
you have Esau's his proxy armies. You have he has small
Mercenaries.
His mercenaries.
Garrisons.
His garrisons. Then they do his bidding too, but they're not named American. But that's why they go to war with these.
that's through his policy.
Yeah, through his policy.
That's that you grab that. Somebody grab that. And then when you hold some pops.
Yes, sir. You got because like I said, and when they want to do stuff off grid,
Yep.
you got Black Ops scenario that's been bought and paid for. If you're caught, there's nothing. They deny you. But if he's successful, then guess what?
You get paid in
you get paid.
compensation.
That's it.
That's those missions when they take your dog tags.
That's right.
Like
Exactly.
when if they ever start collecting up dog tags, we weren't here. We're not here.
They show you,
That's a yeah.
If you die, you die over here.
Right.
they showed that in the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Mhm.
They was hitman, but a lot of the contracts it
Was off record.
was government contracts.
Government contract off record.
It was government
Yeah, another
contracts.
movie.
That's it.
And another thing, I knew a guy in the military side note, and he said every time the planes leave, this was a couple years ago, he out now. He said every time the planes leave, they left loaded, and they always came back empty. So he was telling me, he was like, man,
The
this
equipment being
motherfucker.
dropped.
He said they always bombing something. He said I don't know what the fuck they bombing. He said, but they fucking something up.
They
doing
left
something.
fully loaded and
And
came
he
back
said-
empty.
He said it's all throughout the day, all throughout the night. The planes leave full, and they always come back empty.
Ammunition is always on the
So
plane.
they let somebody have it, man.
And all throughout the day. He said it wasn't a day on the
So you
ship.
got things that are going on that's not even being
That's not even
reported.
been
Thank you.
So that list modern and then a lot of shit happens not even being accounted for.
Right.
And that's the thing, he wants no accountability for what he's done.
This is
All right, so who grabbed that somebody? What you hold?
Then you wait.
I got
You
I got Exodus 21 to 16.
Use policy of practice.
In Isaiah. So it's two pieces. Let's get this out. Exodus 21:16. This was off of what the brother was saying. It says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Esau don't want to have an accountability now because of all the atrocities that's been brought to Israel on all kinds of levels, not just the coming over here, but even up to today. They don't want to do it. Like you said, the history, the history.
And not only Israel, but the heathens as well, man. Those are damn heathens, man. The world was created for our sake.
That's right.
Why you killing all our heathens?
That's
man?
right. And we love our heathens, nigga.
Right.
Oh, you said,
You know what I'm saying? That's my inheritance. You actually
the
did
scripture
right.
says, you be found in your hands. We still found in your hands as we speaking, man.
That's
You
it.
know, you let not go the house of the prisoners, as the scripture saying.
That's right.
And he's not gonna let us go because if he let us go, he's gonna find out that this motherfucker been lying the whole time.
And that's why house shy got to come back and deliver us.
Yeah.
And like the brother was saying,
Who where is it that anybody them Israelis why would they ever need a deliverer?
Right.
Exactly.
They got the IDF.
Yeah, what did
And
they
they,
say?
and they got America. They got the Iron Dome. They got 10 billion in welfare from all these different, coming from here. What deliverers do they need?
Okay.
Right.
Come save me from my penthouse, please. I'm so sorry. I need your help.
Right.
Help me, please.
With they kosher pig and lobster. All right.
White steak.
Wait till I finish my door.
And the second part of that is like you said, they kids and whatnot don't want to be responsible for it. They don't want to hear it. They want to be they want to discard the whole history thing because of the accountability that they got to give. But the scripture says in Isaiah 14 and 21, 21, prepare his father for his children, for the iniquity of his fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
No. So you know what? You bring out the Matthias' whole stuff. You got another scripture, Elder?
Oh, I had that Daniel 8:25.
Oh, okay. Well, you can go. Well, then go ahead and read it, and then Matthias read his, and then we're gonna play that short clip of that video, just like literally about a minute of it, and then I want to finish this article and whatever scriptures come out of it.
Daniel 8:25. Through his policy also, he should cause craft to prosper in his hands. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
And that's what going back to what what Bishop Ramaki was saying, man. All these proxy wars, and playing both sides, or creating a proxy war because the government didn't play ball with him, didn't want to play with him. So I'm going to disrupt your country and put it in ruins and have your people implode, have it implode. Then I'm going to come in and play the cleanup guy. I'm cleaning up it because it wasn't us.
That's hate.
We didn't do it.
That's hate. That's you just sound like
we're actually coming to help you. And what's that scripture says when he be the first to come help you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's Sirach 12, I believe.
Right, exactly. He's the one that lit the house on. You go back and you watch the damn security tape. He was the one.
Pouring gasoline.
Right. Then he come kicking in the door, running out. He's the hero now.
Right. It sounds like Haiti though. They went out there and set up puppet governments. Went out there. Oh, you don't want to act right? Okay, let's go set a hint. Let's go assassinate your ass. You know what I'm saying? And then they showed it though. This last the do-rap in Haiti. That it came out though those were American mercenaries. A lot of them those Americans. Yeah. They came over there and did that as a hit. And guess what? That shit got swept right under the rug.
And then they just stopped talking about it.
Yep.
Because the Haiti president said no to Haiti had 0 cases of the you know what.
Yeah.
Right.
0. None. All right.
Stains in the vein.
Right. You did. They had 0 cases. So the president was like, no, we don't need it. You keep that over there. We don't need your medicine. All right. And then after that, literally 2 weeks later, he was dead.
Yep.
And then a week after that, it was announced all over American media, that democracy was coming there with all the waters and the medicine that they needed. The whole democracy grenade was coming to
top of that.
Right, exactly.
On top of that, though, he said that we've been taking certain remedies, natural remedies,
and they came against that.
He said it's a plant that they have over there that protects them.
And then I heard some fruity small hat doctor say, well, then if you get sick, then don't go to the hospital. Then that's all I'm saying is that they don't need to go and strain on the system if you want to do natural and you want to do all that.
They don't trust me.
They don't want to put a strain in the system.
Exactly. They don't want to be a part of it. So leave them alone, man. All right. So that's just it, man. And then all the sickness and the death as a result of the medicine, they can't hide that anymore. Keep coming out. Somebody put up a billboard in Times Square yesterday and put them on blast. It was like 29,000 something deaths from the you know what, not from the medicine. Not from the disease or the illness, but from the medicine itself.
From the cure.
Yeah, exactly.
The cure kill it.
So exactly. And they were scrambling trying to take it down, but it was at Times Square. So it was all been blasted all across social
Right.
media, man.
Oh,
And if they put up 29,000 and whatever, how many numbers,
It's more than that.
then you could probably multiply that number times at least 3 or 4
Man,
to
it
get the
bare
real
minimum.
number, man. Because we're talking about a worldwide thing, man.
Bare minimum.
But
Right.
They showed you in this in the cartoon Incredibles how Esau really get down.
Yeah.
The first Incredibles.
I remember. That's my
it was
shit.
a little Edomite. He ain't like that. Mr. Incredible wasn't fucking with him. So when he got older, he started creating all the problems, and then coming and swooping in like
Like he was the hero
Like he was the
with his
hero.
technology,
With
his
syndrome.
pseudoscience and his technology, because he didn't have no real power.
He didn't have no real power, but he used the technology to use his power. But it shows you really how Esau get down.
Then he even played. Then he revealed his hand, and then because he told him, remember what his little evil swerve? Remember, I am your greatest fan.
Right.
And he was like, "Holy shit,
He was
that's
like, oh, that's you.
you little demon."
But it also goes in because the scriptures say in his mouth his words are smooth as butter. But
Drawn swords.
Drawn swords.
Yeah.
To show you how Esau, he act like he was cool with him, but deep down he wanted to kill him.
That's Esau from the goat. But that's him. That's his MO.
Yeah.
He'll walk with you and stab you. He did it to this Cain and Abel. You know what I'm saying? That's his MO, man.
Sirach 12 and 16, an enemy speaketh freely with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Right. And Esau is the biggest, what you call the scriptures say, hey man, this dude is wiser than Daniel, man. So it say he a cunning hunter. Hey, this dude hunts people. This dude hunts anything. Hey, this dude
He's a lion. He's
he's gifted, man, in this craft, man. This dude was made this way. So, I mean, he turns everything into a weapon. And he strategizes in ways, it's fucking bugged out, man.
That's the Revelation 6th chapter where it seems given a great sword.
God.
That's why he did. He was set up to just take peace from the earth, ultimately.
God. And who else is it?
Who else exactly?
That, like the scripture say, the earth is given. If not, who is he? Like, if it ain't this dude, who is it? You look at. They say the devil come not but to kill, steal, and destroy. And you look at the planet. Whose MO has been doing that?
Right.
Every land he touches, he steals, he kills, and he destroys it. And when he so-called leave, only thing that's left is ashes and dust and chaos, man.
Yeah, they call him the border of wickedness. Wherever he goes, that's where wickedness is. And then no matter what, he tries to get you to be under that same vibration of wickedness, whether you directly about it or indirectly. He don't care. He don't care whether you directly about wickedness, directly about death, or indirectly about wickedness, indirectly about death. Whether you worship him directly or whether you worship him indirectly, he don't care. So he'll deceive and do all his deceptive ways and things to get you to be under his vibration no matter what. He lie to you, all those things. He'll superimpose, something
Images,
good and, peace and love. But really, it's all the opposite. What you got?
That's why I say, when you depart from evil, you make yourself a prey.
That's
You
it.
ain't under his vibrational one. Now you're the enemy.
Yep, exactly.
That's right. That's why they said when
You're the
pray-
bad guy. You're a hate group.
Yeah.
You're a terrorist.
Yes,
You're, all these bad things.
Yeah.
If you're not with death and wickedness.
That's it.
And they tell you it's all for democracy.
Mhm.
Satan.
But so you can vote for your ruler, right? But meanwhile, what comes with that? All right, they liberate the women. It's, air quotes liberate, which makes them whores. All right, then they bring sodomy to the land. What Obama say? And it's perfect. Mr. Obama said what? If you wanted world aid, if you wanted assistance from America, you had to allow homosexual marriages. That was a quote that he gave, man.
That's it.
All right, democracy ain't about you having a ruler that you think is fair. It's about Esau spreading his vibration to you, man.
That's right.
What you saying, Revelation?
Right,
The
'cause,
devil
you
was
know,
released for a season.
Because the whole thing about Michelle is very questionable.
That's very
But
The devil released for a season to deceive the nations. That devil is Edom. He got out. His mission was the one thing: to deceive you, to follow after wickedness, man.
That's it. That's his MO, to get you to be like him. See, when we're in the kingdom, we ain't gonna play no games with you and deceive. We gonna tell you, You know what I'm saying? This is righteousness. This what it is.
Right.
This what you gonna be on. You ain't on this. This is the consequence. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no lying to you, deceiving you, to trick you to be about righteousness. Nah.
Gray spot.
Right. Right. What you got, brother?
This
Cue up that video.
Lamentation 4, I'm gonna read to 22. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through into thee. Thou shalt be drunken and make thyself naked. Like y'all saying, you being discovered, you being naked, being made bare. So everybody seeing his sins and his wickedness. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquities, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So we ain't going into slavery no more, and your sins have been discovered. Now everybody knows who the devil is. You know, even videos they even put with I forget that this lady, she just made a commercial. Damn, I just forgot her name. I sent the video to you earlier. About that wicked have been revealed. I made it was a video I did. It was a commercial with a lady. They showing basically new order on the shirt.
Oh yeah. No, that was with Celine Dion.
Yeah,
and that wicked clothesline. You know, and right, and the genderless shit and all for little children.
Right.
But they've been revealed. This is the perfect time to, to play this clip. And yeah, Jacqueline by the Lord, man, I love this chick, man. And she go hard against Esau. And I actually through a historian named Theodore Allen is how I got turned on to Jacqueline by the Lord. And she picked up where he left off, and she I think she brought this information out first in 2016. And because no one in the world had ever spoke about this until she did. All right, and she brought it out, man. And then I found out that she was actually married to a Jake. So yeah, I was like, yeah, But anyway, yeah. Well, like the video I did with the pretty little white girl.
People did not exist before 1681. Again, white people did not exist on planet Earth until 1681. Number two. Any claim that this group called white people, any claim that group is rooted in biology or derived from genes or biology or is innate or is from nature is a lie. Third and final point. As a matter of foundational law, actually, let me say it this way. White supremacy has been embedded in the United States of America from its founding as a matter of law. Now, I don't expect you to buy all that, to get all that, to believe all that, at least not now. But my job is to share with you the legal history that proves each of those three claims that I begin with.
You can stop right
so
there.
Let's go.
She said, let's go. So basically, and she presented, and then it was 2014. So I stand correct. She Jake, man.
And she had too much stake anyway.
And that's how raw the Lord is, man. Like you like Esau don't understand the true power of the Lord. Here it is. He had a Jake grow up amongst them that look like them, that actually give a fuck about what's going on. Made her wise in they bullshit. Put the spirit on her to look
to drop bomb,
it,
to drop down,
boom, 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 to lay it on them, and she looked just like them.
Yeah,
right. So it's like you said, a two-edged sword.
Prepare
You're living out the truth, and you look like them. So it's like, ouch, right?
So we got to remember the Most High is a man.
The
Most High is a man of war. So guess what? Doing ambushes.
Jane Kennedy. Yeah, her too.
She too. Yep.
Her too.
But the Most High said he's a man of war, so he's into ambush.
But they've been shamed. Yeah, and this was a complete ambush because this fucked Esau up.
She is spy.
This fucked Esau up, and then we got a hold of it. It's over. Right? Because now you have a time, a date, a place, and the evidence of when they created this lie of whiteness, man. Right. And she provided all the evidence that you need. You can. It's called Birth of a White Nation. This was the first video of hers that I ever watched, and I was sitting there fucking amazed. I was like, "You," and I'm like, "Ooh, I can't wait to do that." And I lit their ass up.
I actually have an account because I was speaking. I actually kind of missed out on shit because I did that, but she started going there trying to like acting like she was a 4-hour race or whatever. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a criminal justice lawyer and this, that, and the third." And I just I ended up laying down some facts. But the one thing I hit on was that there's really no such thing as that white and black thing. And then she just based on those views, I don't agree. And we just stopped talking from there, man. Because that proved that she really wasn't for us. She was full of shit. She wanted to act like I'm helping this poor puppy that hurt his like. Nah, man, y'all actually fucked over the earth. You're worse than anything on the face of the earth, man. You're not helping anything.
They don't want to have no accountability now. Right, they're only gonna do so much now.
Hey, this is my first day.
I said that other day at work too, man.
This is my first day.
But let me get back into this article. So back into this article with DeSantis, it says, with the flick of his pen, I always talk about pale men with bald faces with neckties and ink pens. All right, they're the most dangerous people, these white Christian extremists with the bald faces, the pale faces, and the ink pen. They're the most dangerous, terroristic individuals the earth has ever seen. Mm-hmm. All right, their history shows it, and that's why they don't want it to be talked about. All right, but it says, with the flick of his pen, Governor Ron DeSantis signed the HB 7, known as the Individual Freedom Bill, into law Friday, banning school lessons or workplace training that could make participants feel discomfort or guilt.
Oh, man.
The bill bars any teachers of workplace training that our spouses promotes, advances, inculcates, or compels someone to believe a particular race or sex is morally superior, or an individual that can be inherently racist or sexist because they want to have this false title that they've given themselves, this creation of whiteness. They want to always appear to be the good people, the pure people. All right. When the truth of the matter is, it's like the brother said, Yaki said earlier, they're the basis of man, and one of their things is that they're morally they're the lowest. They have no morals. Right. All right, because the Edomites are the only people I know that would gloat about winning a race to the whole world that they rigged. All right, you rigged the race and handicapped everyone else in the race to ensure that you won. And then when you win the race, then you gloat and throw it back in the faces of all the people that you handicap, how much of losers they are. This is the type, that's their truth. This is what we're dealing with. This is what the world is dealing with.
That's
all right?
If they pass that in the law, they get ready to disbar the Bible.
Brother, yes, a lot is getting ready to happen because this is really geared toward us.
Exactly.
Point blank, period. All this other shit is just a distraction. Right. Worrying about the alphabet lifestyles and the genders and that's bullshit. We're the real targets in this. The men of the Lord. It says, we're here today because we believe in education, not indoctrination. And that's exactly what they teach. How are you going to teach that the Pilgrims came, that America was built? And that's it. Thanksgiving. And not tell when we all know what really happened at Thanksgiving. And then we know what happened to the indigenous people when you wanted their lands. You see, they don't want history told, man. It says we believe an important component of freedom. Hold on. It says it also targets the teachings of critical race theory in Florida classrooms. So, what about critical race history, Mr. DeSantis? All right, fuck the theory.
What y'all do?
We're talking about history here. What about critical race history? But that's okay. They can just come to my channel and learn. I'll make sure all the children in Florida know the truth.
Second Corinthians 11:14, and no marvel.
That's for the other spirit.
For Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. That's right. So he's the good guy. Love. Shoot, wait a minute, hold on. Come on.
Right. He's wrapping his head to cover his arm.
That's right.
It says, we were, where was I at?
Hey, because
Now let me finish this,
Okay.
y'all. And it says, oh yeah, critical race theory or CRT is defined by Merriam-Webster as a group of concepts, not history. Notice it's saying concepts used for so was Wounded Knee a concept of history?
Ooh, that happened.
All right. Was the Trail of Tears a concept or history?
Yep, that
Okay.
happened.
Was the land grab a concept or history? Was the Devil's Punch Bowl
That's it.
a
Right.
concept
Seminole
or
Wars.
history?
Right.
Was the Seminole Wars a concept or history?
Remember,
Okay. Was
Mhm.
Masada a concept or history? Was Rosewood, Elaine, Arkansas, the Black Belt here in Chicago,
Mhm.
Tulsa, Oklahoma? Well, though the bloody summer of 1921 was 1919,
Water
Strange.
where you
hoses.
destroyed all
Strange
those black
Strange fruit.
provinces across America that were well-to-do,
Mhm.
that were doing better than white places. By the way,
The
was that
belt.
all concepts
Mhm.
or history? Well, the
Awesome.
images, because you put the images up from Without Sanctuary again, Bob.
The Boston bombing, and I mean the original one. When the police bombed Jake neighborhood. man.
God. Yeah.
They was dropping
What?
bombs out of fucking helicopters.
Shark and gator bait.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that concept? Yeah.
Right. African Dodger.
That happened.
Yeah,
It was
right,
all
that's
Marvel
right.
games.
Yep.
Christopher Columbus.
That's right. Hey, how many lakes actually was it Lake Rainier? What's that lake that is actually were towns of Jake? That was their Jake, and but it's not one. It's dozens of them.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I was going to Minnesota to grab my son, and I always wondered, like, was these really towns? Because a lot of the trees, you just see the top of the trees.
You don't see the bottom.
You don't see the bottom of the trees, and it's trees, and it's like, and I think about it because it's a bunch of houses. It's like it's a bunch of houses around. Because I remember you talk about how they flooded so many towns.
Yeah, and that's the
But
Land of
just this
Lakes.
one, but it's
Land
just
of
a
Lakes is
lake.
right up there near,
You know, and then they got a lot of the lakes going towards when you first get into Minnesota with the mountains. A lot of those lakes got like tall trees that's coming out of the water.
Exactly.
You know, it like it was a land it once. And then they got a dam.
They flooded
over
over.
there. They got a dam
That's
right
it.
there.
because trees typically don't grow in water.
War.
No,
All right,
I mean,
but-
it's a lot of them too. Like, and they tall, big ass trees, but ain't no bottom. It's all underwater. You
Mhm.
can just see the tops of the trees.
That is.
I'm sure that they talked about all those towns that were destroyed. I'm sure it's more than what we know.
Oh yeah.
All right, but it says a group of concepts used for examining relationships between race and law and legal institutions of a country, especially the United States. So they don't want you to go. All this happened in the United States.
That's it.
All right, these Mr. DeSantos, these are not concepts. This was white Christian extremism
You got
in the
pictures
midst of the land of democracy. That's what this is. All right, that's what you're looking at.
Yep.
All right,
White
so
supremacy.
that's exactly at its worst or its best, depending on how you're looking at it.
And if you go
All right?
into some of the history behind some of these images and Without Sanctuary, some of these people did some shit. It's like stole a pie.
Because they
And
were hungry.
Many of them didn't do anything.
Come
They
on.
just were blamed.
Yeah,
Looked
They looked at a woman. They looked at a fine woman. They smiled. Oh, he smiled at me. Huh? That nigga what? And it was done. You're dead. You know what I'm saying? Emmett
Or they
Till.
just went to your neighborhood
Yeah.
and decided to hook you up to their pickup truck
That's
and
it.
drag you up the fucking street.
Cause they wanted to.
Because-
Yeah, that was a fun night.
Because
Yeah.
you were the righteous and they laid
That's it.
wait for you.
It's-
You know what I'm
see,
saying?
wickedness don't need a good reason to be wicked.
Hey, First John said it best. He says, "Well, for hating him, because his brother works unrighteous,
That's it.
his own works evil."
That's it.
Y'all
And that's-
understand, yeah.
I mean, but see, how you jealous of somebody because he's doing good?
But here's the thing. Like this.
The wicked, the righteousness of offends the wicked. That's why we're an abomination to them, and they're abomination to us.
Contrary.
That's
But,
it.
but,
That's
it's like you said, in the midst of that, they do all this wickedness and this, that, and the other. There's somebody that say, pose for the camera, cheese, and they take pictures of it.
Right.
They took pictures of it, so there was no shame in they thing. But now they shame for
And,
it.
and now they so great philanthropists.
Right.
Now they worried
Yes.
about human rights and shit on the world stage. They bomb every fucking body, man.
That's it.
Right.
You know.
They're not talking about giving back nothing that they took.
Exactly.
But let me finish this this article. This is almost the end of it. It says the theory is not taught in Florida schools at any grade level right now. According to the bill's analysts, it would prevent CRT from being taught in order to block what is classified as distortion of historical fact events. Is this a fucking distortion, or did this fucking happen? And that dude was brutally lynched right after they
took the picture.
After they took pictures
that
of
was
him
before,
and whipped him. They whipped his legs and his back, ripped his flesh open, and then he was castrated and lynched shortly after that.
That's it.
That man you see that right there.
Lynches in Missouri.
Okay, just so you know, they paraded him around nude. They castrated him, beat him to his legs what looked like a map, and his back looked like a map, and then they hung him and burned his body. All right,
that's it.
And that's not a distortion of facts, DeSantis, you piece of fucking shit. All right, it says the Florida Education Association, the teachers union, said the law is based on a manufactured political narrative that does not face the real critical issue. It is making sure that enough teachers, bus drivers, custodians, and food workers, all right, no matter where we live or what we look like, we all want the best for our kids. Parents, and so basically, don't teach the children. Don't let this history come out. And like it has been said, the reason that they don't want these images shown is because they will actually see their mothers, their fathers, their grandparents.
That's right.
That's the problem. And they do all these images in black and white to make it look like it was done so long ago. A lot of these images weren't that long ago.
I pull it back.
All this was in the last century. All right,
it hasn't even been 100 years.
A lot of this was in the last century. You know, some of these as early as 60 and 70 years ago, man. You got a lot of 60 and 70 year-old people walking around.
Less than that. 81. You got 40-year-olds.
So there you go, man.
That's nowhere. I was born in '88. You know what I'm saying? So, I was born in '81. Right. So
when we were going to St. Louis, it was me, Nadia, and Shaquat. We stopped in heading to St. Louis. We stopped in a place called Lynchville. What? It literally spelled like lynch. We went into the gas station.
Lynchburg, we got Lynchvilles, all that. Yeah.
We went into the gas station. There was a whole bunch of Edomites hanging out. And it's in the morning time, they're drinking coffee and shit. As soon as we opened the door, the bell rang, they all looked at us, and then they stopped talking, and they got real weird.
You know what we're
shit. We got the fuck out of there.
Are you actually any nigga?
Washington Post.
You know where you at, boy?
35.
And that's the Washington Post right there.
Y'all got any fried shit?
Shemai, real quick.
Color photos came on 1890s.
That's right. That's right. This is lynching. This is from the Washington Post. If you know about Washington Post, as a very respected newspaper and a very respected so-called journalism. This is from August 8th, 2021. Since 2000, there have been at least 8 suspected lynchings of black men and teenagers in Mississippi, according to court records and X. But we've seen since the truth, and that's over 10, 12, 13, 14 years of evidences of people being we've seen it. Yeah, they still.
And then a lot of lynchings they call suicide.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers they go on social media complaining and saying this person wasn't suicidal. This isn't what it was.
I knew him. This is my friend.
Yeah.
Right. My brother, whatever.
And most niggas don't really kill themselves. That's a rare thing with niggas, man.
That's it. That's very, very rare.
Yeah, Jake did.
Look, this is 2020. 4 black men were found hanged in 3 weeks. All right, that's suicide. You know what? Let's fuck it, man. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Let's hang ourselves.
A bunch of dead bodies floating in the
I
rivers.
lost my church phone. Let me hang myself. Oh no, that's the wrong race.
Exactly.
Right. I
That's
got
it.
precept. If I may.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 36, verse 12. It says, "Yeah, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Israel, and they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be their inheritance, and thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men. Thus saith the Lord God, because they say unto you, thou land devourest up men, and hast bereaved thy nations." You know, so it's not gonna be happening no more, man. So get your field. Get your field, man. At the end of the day, that would make the Most High unrighteous as you if he never came to guide us? He just lets you fucking get away with this shit for the longest, and we can't do nothing. We understand we can't really physically do anything. The only thing we can do is just be patient. Like nobody's gonna fucking.
And that's what we pray for. We pray for patience and revenge.
That's it.
We pray for deliverance.
That's it.
You know, we pray for wisdom and understanding, but don't think that we don't pray for vengeance.
That's right, because here it is, the Most High, like I've been saying recently, you know, wickedness gets its time, like righteousness gets its eternity, man. And so when wickedness gets its time, wickedness is supreme. They get they supremacy. You know what I'm saying? See, but the thing is, and there ain't nothing wrong with somebody wanting to be supreme and ruling. The problem comes is if you're ruling with a way that's not the way of the Most High God in righteousness. See, we want to be supreme too. You know what I'm saying? And have Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and Israelite supremacy because of our way that was given to us. You see, all these other nations, they have their own way. We was talking about it yesterday on the line, and I talked about it a little bit in the lesson that I did last week about our discipline. See, the Most High said that our discipline as Israelites, the special chosen children, he nourishes us with discipline. What's our discipline? Righteousness. All right. The do's and don'ts, like I looked up the word discipline, and it goes into a set of rules and regulations. Now, with the discipline of the way of Esau Edom is the total opposite of the way of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Here it is, these heathen nations, they have different ways and different disciplines and how they live, different one from another. What they have in common is that it's darkness, that it always ends in a downfall and death. You know, the Israelites was given the discipline, the way of life, and the way of righteousness, you know, and that's what we're going to rule with in the kingdom of heaven. So that's what we're about right now. But since we're about that right now, about our discipline, about righteousness, the righteousness of the Most High God, then those who's contrary to that, they gonna hate us. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say that we the hate group, we the domestic terrorists, when we really just about the discipline of the Most High God, the righteousness of the Most High God, which, you know, it leads to life everlasting. See, all these other disciplines leads to death, you know? So we're about the do's and don'ts that leads to life everlasting, man. What you got, Bob?
This is Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spot?
Right. So the Ethiopian has his way, has his order, has his do's and don'ts, his way of living, his discipline. All right. And it says same thing with the animal kingdom. They have their particular look and their way and the things that they do and don't do and their, you know, habitat and where they should be and, you know, all these things, right?
That's right.
So go ahead.
Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
So those who are accustomed to do evil, that word accustomed comes from the Hebrew word lamad, which means learned in, trained in. They're trained in, learned, made to be evil. But they're not going to sit up here and say, hey, guys, we're the evil. And right now we have the rulership right now. And so come on and be like us, evil. No, they're going to say that, oh, they're going to say that, oh, no, it's good.
Yes,
it's peace. It's love. They're going to, what they say in the movie, evil is good. That's what they're going to say, you know? And then they're going to fool you because they're going to have some good tenets. They're going to throw you some good directions up in there. You know what I'm saying? To fool you. That's why the scriptures talk about, oh, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. It seemed right because it had a few good directions. It had a few good tenets. But see, we need 100% of life's law to live life. Because once you transgress the law of life, you die. See, we're about the laws of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? We're about the way, the direction that leads to life everlasting. That's what we're about. What you got, brother?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 15. For righteousness is immortal,
For righteousness. And again, that's our discipline. That's our discipline. That's our rules and regulations. All right. And wait, read it again, Baba.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 15.
Short,
For
sweet.
righteousness is immortal.
Righteousness is immortal. He said he made man to be immortal in an image of his own, likeness, man. And that's what we about. See, but when somebody that got fooled to be about the ways of death, to be about the ways of wickedness, because they in power right now, they in rulership right now. You know what I'm saying? See, but in the time of rulership of the wicked, we suffer and sigh and cry, and we go through everything that we got to go through to fight against that.
Game is
That's
God.
right, because Esau, they're trying to obtain immortality through transhumanism, which is synthetic, which is not real, right? Which is fake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They can't obtain immortality because they're wicked. They'll never receive it. And that's why they said in that movie, Jupiter's Ascending, they said, what's the purpose of having all of this? You fight over this, you fight over that, but we fight over time. All right, because Esau know that they don't have much time. They're not gonna be able to enjoy the things, all right, because it's literally gonna take eternity to really grasp your mind over the beauty that the Lord has actually made, man. All right. The things that are prepared for the righteous, it's gonna take eternity to really to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? When you die, you like this shit over with. You die and you come back. You don't even remember the shit you used to sing. It's shit over with.
It's funny you say that. It's funny that you say that because, like you said, like back in seeking the old path, it's gonna take a minute for food to go back to its
Strength.
Its
natural strength. Yeah.
Its total strength and whatnot.
It's original.
It's going to take land sabbaths to be observed and these types of things for all the nutrients to go back into the ground for those particular crops to even bring the food way back up to where it was supposed
And it's going to happen a lot faster than you think, though, because America's going to be completely destroyed, and other places, right? And it's going to be right, right. And now, and plus the other places around the world didn't brutalize their soil and their resources the same way that Babylon did.
And the reason why it's going to come back quicker than what you think is because of fire, brother.
Yeah.
Fire is actually a cleansing agent, and not only cleansing agent, but soon as the fire goes through it, that next group of crops that come is beautiful. It's plenty. It's because all that rich fire, nutrients, and ash, all that is going to. So the Lord is doing. He's doing.
Like
He's
doing forest fires.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We think, so the forest is burning down, but they always grow back better and stronger afterwards.
That's it. So it's the Lord know what He's doing, and the earth is going to be renewed with all them bodies going back into the earth without those goddamn what you call it, without them embalmings and all
that was
the
part of the conversation today, was it not?
Yeah.
And that blood that's going to cleanse the land.
That blood, all that's going to come back. Hey, the scripture says somebody want to get it, they can. If not, you can go look it up. But the continual employment, according to the scripture, is going to be burial men. I don't know, grave diggers. That's going to be the number one profession for a while after the Messiah returns.
Good job.
Oh man, it's gonna be a good job. Because guess what? It's gonna be a lot of work.
It's gonna be open door.
There's gonna be a lot of work. Bring your face mask. Bring your face mask. It's gonna stink.
Bring your mask. Hey, make sure you got your steel boots, steel toe boots. You better have some iron boots. You better make sure, safety first. You care about your safety.
It's a new movie called Morbius, which is backing you up what you was just saying, how they try to make that synthetic, trying to basically come immortal. It just came out. It's a movie.
Morbius.
So basically they like saying he creating a serum to make himself immortal.
Transhumanism.
But turn himself into a man.
Transhumanism is trying to create immortality.
Well, he was trying to heal himself.
Strength.
That's what.
This is Psalms 58:10.
But it's Esau.
And it reads, "The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked."
That shit.
All right.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful, man.
That's beautiful.
And the minute the Lord, the righteous, hey, the Lord is a righteous power, man. Right? The Lord is actually, like the scriptures say, what happy is he to see the fall of his enemies, man.
Yeah, grab that.
You
And
know?
then let me finish this. It says, this is Psalms 58:10. So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous.
Right.
That's
Right?
a hell of a reward.
Verily, he is a God that judgeth in the earth. So the Lord is coming back to spill the blood of the Edomites and the wicked. You know, the wicked and the wicked heathen and the wicked among our people.
Right. That's right.
All right. You know, he said he's not going to greet coming back as a man. He's not going to come back as this humble man anymore. He's coming back with in that
It's a
angelic.
power.
I'm telling you, he's coming back in that Thanos of apocalypse
That's it.
form, man.
That's it.
Right?
Bring down
Man.
fire.
And see, and according to America and majority of these countries, they don't even know about real royalty. You look at the royals over there in Britain; those not royalty, and that whole system.
And a lot of people know it. They
Exactly.
they just have cognitive dissonance,
There
you know,
Kind
when
of.
it comes to it, because that's not the people. You know, the these Edomites aren't dumb. You know, not these highly educated Edomites, they're very well aware, but they just support and keep up the lies. But they're very well aware. They look. At this point, the world knows. It's like I said, man. They've been making money hand over fist with this Viking shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it every week, man. Look, you are not the Vikings.
That's it.
You are not the Britons. You're not the Scots. You're not the Irish.
Hey.
All right. You are none of that. Those were all the Portuguese, the Spanish, all those lands, Russia, Slovenia,
Mhm.
those were all ruled over by so-called black people. And the evidence of it is undeniable.
Did you see the?
All right.
Did you
From the time of the fall of Rome until the resurgence of Esau, Edom, and during the Renaissance. So that 1,000-year period, all of Europe was ruled over by so-called black people.
Yeah.
And the Lord brought the plague, and the plague is what got their numbers low. And then Esau, the wild men,
Came
the
out the
beastmen, you know,
flooded in.
who what they do is they take. I saw the movie The Northman, so you know, I don't want to say too much, but what they do, because this brother, the movie good as fuck, and it's all about vengeance. But what the Northman, but so he's a Viking.
No, he's talking about
What can you view it on?
Disney
Where can I
Plus.
see it?
Oh, it's in the movies, brother.
Oh, it's at the movies.
So the thing is, but the thing is that what they've done is they take the Viking history, all right, of Jacob, of Harold Blatan, which means great black man. Duh.
Wow.
All right. That's what the Bluetooth, that goes back to the word Blatan, which means blah, meaning black, tan, great man, Blatan. All right. And they take the history of the Vikings, and then they take the histories of the wild men, the wildlings. All right, the savage, the blood eating, all the blood sacrifices, and the being naked and fighting naked, and because in this movie, you know, there were scenes when they were fighting naked. All right, so what they do is they take the wildlings history and they try to blend it with the real Vikings history, man. And that's what's going on, and that's what they do, and they making money hand over fist, man. Like my favorite show was The Last Kingdom, man, with Uchi of Bredenberg. But none of those people were white. None of them.
None at all.
But they glory in this lie to keep and this is what DeSantis doesn't want that sort of thing to come out.
That's right.
You know, Esau loves to glorify and put his face. I trained a bunch of actresses for years, man. That was in the theater company, and they were constantly complaining about these so-called white males. And the whitewashing of history, and they were tired of these roles and these lies. These were actresses talking about.
That's right.
Now,
Colonizers.
even how Jake dressed, how they showed the different coats of arms, how Esau whitewashed it, and they show you how Jake dressed. A lot of the garbs that we wear was royal, and the colors and the fashions that we wore, like in the different coats of arms. Hey, Esau can't dress like that.
No, not only that, there's statues,
right?
And there's artistry left of Jacob wearing gold Big, I mean, gold today that would probably be worth millions. I mean, they were wearing big thick gold chains and gold rings, gold hoops, with the and then buttons, lots of buttons represented royalty and wealth. All of their garments had they didn't have one or two buttons. They had buttons all the way down, man. Big swords and shields. That's right. And then the knights, you can see the garments under their borders, their fringes are bordered of blue under the armor, man. You can't get around it, man.
Did you hear what Alex Jones said about the Vikings movie? He was, you know how he snaps him when he gets too very passionate. He's like, and now you have this movie with the Vikings, and they got these black generals, and it's just not true. It's not true. And then he just snapping, that's not true. When it's 100,000%.
No, and it is true. He just don't want to accept it. All right, it's just like all these, Chicago has a huge Irish population. Well, guess what? The majority of these people that are running around Irish, they're not the Irish at all. They're Edomites, man.
That's
now,
right.
among them are gonna, there's always a few that's among them. All right, but for the most part, the majority of them are Edomites, man. Okay, and it just is what it is, man. And so it's this truth that's really hurting them. But you don't get angry at us for telling you the truth. You need to get angry at your forefathers for lying to you.
That's right.
It was your forefathers that fabricated all this history. It's your forefathers that tried to try to fabricate this history. But yet you got a whole room full of artifacts that still exist. And when these artifacts are brought out, now you got a problem with it, man.
Hey, you can even go into the history of the word dukes. They still calling themselves Dukes.
They're the only one to call themselves Dukes.
They're the only way to call themselves Dukes. But that goes into Esau. We call them the Dukes of Edom.
The Dukes of Edom, man.
The word Duke is referred to as Esau, Edom. And they call themselves Dukes today because they are the actual the lineage of Esau.
Well, there it is, man, because Jake wasn't referring to themselves as Duke. As a matter of fact, that's the name. Cesare Borgia, one of his aliases is Duke Valentino. Right. He was the Duke of Valentino. All right. So there it is, man. What you got, brother? We're gonna get ready to wrap it up.
This Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. They just been telling on themselves the whole time, man. Even in
So is this concept?
Right.
Or is this actual history?
Right.
These relics, these are actual fucking relics that came from Europe, from Scotland, from Ireland, from Slovenia, from Russia, from Portugal, from Spain. All right, that's where they're from. All right, and this was during the Dark Ages. So Alex Jones, shut the fuck up. And that was the name I was trying to say yesterday on the line, and nobody could figure it out. Alex Jones.
Hey, Putin, which proves that is part of history. Putin, one of his the steel shots, somebody
he did that on purpose.
He had.
Oh, that was
that was a jab. That was a jab at America. And like I said, this because you often heard Putin had on a number of occasions have often spoke of the mistreatment of so-called black people in America. He spoke about it numerous times. Not just once.
Right now, for the record, fuck him because he do it to do a dig at America, but he
didn't say that when it was needed.
Exactly. And he got niggas over there that's under his thumb. So because niggas are everywhere. Matter of fact, when I was performing over in Scotland years ago, I saw a Russian ballet company, and there's one 6 foot something just taller than my ass. And she was fine in hell. There's a Jake, and I was like, God damn, what? Yeah. I didn't say that, no, but
yeah, brother, because guess what? You didn't actually claim her.
No, I did claim her. I did claim her. Oh, please, I absolutely, and I tried to get it. Did you? But it just lets you know, and they'd be going back to Russia. Russia has a rich history of so-called Negroes over there and helping them out and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And so we over here don't hear about so-called blacks growing up in Russia or in Germany or Scotland. Or
around World War II, a lot of Negroes migrated to Russia and lived there around the time of
Russia
World
was
War II.
advertising the form.
Yeah, because because they were you have soldiers who have fought valiantly with Russians, forces and things like that, and and they were only coming home to even after World War I. Same thing
niggas in
happened.
Hitler's army.
And they were it was niggas in Hitler's army. Yes, it was. And they were only coming home to being hung and their houses burned and all kind of shit after they just fought for their country, man.
That's it.
So we're behind enemy lines.
Wow.
So you have to understand it, man. So it will behoove you if you have a choice to never put on the uniform and go defend the this white Christian extremism that comes in the form of democracy that really oppresses you and your people, whether you realize it or not, man.
You see all
Right.
these designs all over these clothes and all these different brands, and all of those go back to so-called Negroes. You know what they do? They take off the black head, the black face, the black body, and then they put shit on them insignias, and then Jakes think they buying some fresh that some cracker made when it's actually got our own shit.
These are the originals. And that's what
Out of Fairbairn's book of Crest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of clothes got that. And if you go over to Europe, which I've been over to London and Scotland, you'll see a lot of these emblems on buildings, like
and some of them still had the Negroes on them.
Yes,
because I've seen them.
Yes,
I've researched them, and they removed, and it's a ton of stuff still on the internet, but they removed a lot of stuff going back, like 10 plus years ago, man.
Right.
They removed there was a lot of things we were able to pull up and find that you can't.
They suppressed with Google.
Yeah, they was niggers like crests.
They even fuck with the
Put it
Bible.
on this, put it on that.
They even fuck with the scripture.
Yeah, so this truth has had a profound effect on Esau, man. And then he's been trying to adjust, and he changed things in the Blue Letter and different Bible apps.
Why would you need to update the Bible app? What's wrong with it? Why you got to keep updating?
Definitions.
Yeah, exactly. He changed definitions. And not only that, the definition of ham in the Zondervan is now changed.
Right. Now check this. You see this one right here with the black keys right here? This is the papal key emblem that they use today. Now, of course, they got some little more elaborate ones, but this one here is the basic one. Now, look in Nature's No Color, the original one. They took off the black man that was right between the top. All right. If you go in there, the papal keys right here with Saint Peter, and they got Saint Peter as a black man. All right. If you don't mind, you can, yeah. All right. And this is what Esau does. This is they don't know the history, brother. Did you get it?
No, I didn't really.
It's like
Saint Peter.
Yeah, this one right here, brother.
And if you go look here on the screen now, this is what it looked like now.
They removed it.
They just took it out.
You gotta understand. These books, the images from this book, all right, came from Donald Fairbairn's book,
right?
which was made in 1869. And it's funny because that was the same year that the author of this book was born. So he used the images from Donald Fairbairn's book.
That's it.
All right.
We're accessible then. Yeah. Now you want to get that book. Now go to Library of Congress.
Can't even Library of Congress. You can't even take this book out.
Is it
unless you're a congressman or a House of Representative member?
I
you have to have a high-ranking American. Yeah, and and they're not. It's not like they're gonna take that and bring it to Florida and show the governor of DeSantis and tell them that, hey, look, this is what it is. It's not like they're gonna do that.
This second Ezra 1650. So shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face. When he cometh that shall defend him, that diligently search out every sin upon earth. So this is that time we in, man. Yahweh Shai's gonna come defend us. So what's happening? Hey, we accuse you to your face. All right, see, we're not going behind doors and tricking you and getting you. No, we telling you what it is you've been going off. We're showing the world, all right, exposing your lies, man. And so our Lord is going to come redeem us, man. And Elder Malcolm said something heavy. This truth is really getting to Esau, man. And he ain't sleeping good at night.
That's right.
All right, hey, believe that, brothers. This word, man, is really tearing this place down, man. This Wisdom Solomon 4. Oh, shit, I lost it. I scroll up. This Wisdom Solomon 4 and 19. God damn, I gotta find it over. You had some problem?
Yeah. This Revelation 12 and 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. That dragon represents Esau, Edom. All right, and the woman represents the nation of Israel. All right, so it says the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of a seed which keep the commandments of the Most High, had a testimony of how about shooting out shot. Go back to what we were saying earlier, man. So now that we departed from evil, you don't want to follow this damn devil's way of life. Now you're the enemy, and he's mad that we expose him.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
This was Solomon 4 and 16. Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the ungodly which are living. And like you said in the New Testament, we are dead to this world, man. I'll have to tell you how it shot. So we condemning the ungodly. It's our job, man. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the ungodly which are living, and youth that is so perfected the many years and old age of the unrighteous. For they shall see the end of the wise, and shall not understand what the power and his counsel have decreed of him, and to what end the Lord has set him in safety. They shall see. So we've been going through all this hill, but the Lord got us, man. We're going to get the salvation we're willing with elect. They shall see him and despise him, but the Most High shall laugh them to scorn. Everything you're doing is futile, man. All right, the Lord is laughing at you. And they shall hereafter be a vile carcass and a reproach among the dead forevermore. For he shall rend them and cast them down headlong, that they shall be speechless. And he shall shake them from the foundation. And they shall be utterly laid waste and be in sorrow, and their memorial shall perish. And when they cast up the accounts of their sins, they shall come with fear, and their own iniquities shall convince them to their face.
There you go.
So your own sins are eating you up. That's why he put the policies in place. You can't teach this. They fucking hurt. Their conscience is torn. They ain't having no good sleep. They having nightmares. They tortured. All right, they probably in that bitch like on oh shit, what's the movie with Crazy K? All right, damn, what's the movie?
Oh, Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood. They like Crazy K when he was finna get put to death. He started seeing all the murders he did. He was going through it, but he was tormented. Esau was dealing with that, man. Tormented.
And his pride got in the way, and that's why he got destroyed.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't accept.
And that's why Esau finna come down with that wrath, but they come that Crazy K spirit. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, man. I'm gonna put to death.
All right, go ahead and read that last scripture, bro.
All right.
All right, Kiki. We're gonna read.
We got you, Kiki. We gonna close out on your scripture, Kiki. Jeremiah 6.
She couldn't help herself.
Right. And Jeremiah, it's on point though. In Jeremiah 16:19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. And that's 100% true.
And that's all that false history. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we're going to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Wa Abba Ba.